What is up, Saturn System? I hope you beautiful people are enjoying another wonderful day in paradise. My name is Saturn Cycle, and welcome back to The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. You may notice we have a file over here that's already being worked on. That's something I'm doing in my free time, since I have to work towards like 1,001% or whatever it's called. I have to work on all 3 save files. So I'm just doing this kind of off screen, just playing in my own free time, so that I'm not messing with this save file. I don't have nearly as much done. I don't have all the characters unlocked, but that's just that's what this is about. I'm going to leave file 2 completely alone, so that when I beat this save file and get to 100%, if you guys want me to do another save file, I will. Otherwise, you know, I could just move on to a different game at that point. It really depends on how I feel and how you guys feel. But for now, let's do what we came here to do. So I believe our goal is to get the D6 still, right? So we have to beat Isaac in the cathedral as Blue Baby. I had that wrong last time. I don't know why I kept thinking it was Isaac. I forgot to click back into the window. Burning Basement Curse of Darkness. Okay, so Burning Basement was the type of floor we recently unlocked, and when paired with Curse of Darkness, it's horrendous, because Burning Basement is already difficult to see in, but when you add Curse of Darkness to it, good lord, I can't see anything. So Blue Baby's gimmick, as you can tell, is that he starts off with 4 spirit hearts instead of red heart containers. And the thing with that is, he literally never gets red heart containers. So when we lose hearts, they're just gone. We have to do our best to maintain our HP. The upside to that is the fact that he's basically guaranteed deals with the devil or deals with the angel, depending on whatever we feel like going for. Deals with the angel are more favored since we don't have to trade HP for them. But if we get our hands on something like 9 lives, if we can get the Guppy Dream, we're good. It's just the fact that, oh jeez. Oh, get out of here. Yeah, so we're already down 1 heart. That's not good. I don't like Blue Baby. We need powerful items to start. We really do. We can't afford to go into our curse room because we can't afford to lose hearts. We just can't. That was dumb damage. Right after I said we can't afford to lose hearts, I walk right into the enemy and I almost do it again. Oof. Okay. So there are a couple items that would be ideal. There are also a couple items that I haven't even seen yet on any run on either save file. I haven't seen Ludovico technique or Ludovico technique, however you feel like saying it. And I haven't seen Tech X. I could have sworn Tech X was inherent, as in the game starts with it pre-baked into the item pool. I don't think we have to unlock it. All these red hearts are worthless. If we can get our hands on something like Dark Bomb, we're good. Sad Bombs, it's fine. It's a great item. It's really... It shows its, I can barely see. It shows its effectiveness and its kill power later on, once you build synergies with your tiers. Oh, give me a Spear Heart, please. Spear Hearts, please. I don't want to use all of our bombs here in case we come across tinted rocks on the next floor. But our damage is slightly higher than Isaac's starting damage. And I mean very slightly higher. Like 0.17 high. I think Isaac starts with a cool 350. Well, 3.50. This could... You know we're going to take it. Lost a whole point of damage. We gained some of our tier rate. We gained a spirit heart. That wasn't worth it. We lost an entire point of damage. That's a lot. We're gonna have to hope that we make up for it on this floor somehow. Ooh, excuse me. Or at the very least, I hope that we can get our hands on 2 other syringes. Like a synth oil or... What's the other one that's really good? I don't remember. Oh, come on. We're being pushed around, guys. Come on, get out of here. Losing a whole point of damage really did us. It did us I'm trying to think of a good enough phrase. We're already down a spirit heart, so even if we got a good deal with the devil, we won't be able to take it unless it gives us hearts back, or if it's like 9 lives or something. But losing that point of damage really set us back, because now we're going to kill things even slower. Even though we shoot slightly faster, things are going to be able to take more hits from us. Like, look how many hits those spiders took. Took 3 hits to kill 1 baby spider. So I don't have a lot of faith in this run, I gotta be honest with you guys. Oh, lovely. No, stay back. I don't know why I didn't use sad bombs on that room. I completely forgot that we had them. I got mind flooded from losing that entire point of damage. Please be good. You're neither here nor there, to be honest. Like, I don't mind you, but I'd be perfectly fine without you. What we need is killing power, more than anything. Killing power is always the best route to take, but sometimes a run can get completely carried by a defensive item, like Book of Revelation, or Satanic Bible, or Holy Mantle, anything like that can carry a run. But sometimes all you need is good killing power, which we don't have. Okay, there's a tinted rock. I hate you so much, spider. You pushed that thing right into our face. This run might end up being a loss. I can almost feel it in my bones. We're down to a spirit heart and a half. We just got, okay, it's Pim. Super easy. Pim's just a matter of patience. That's all we were waiting for. Magic Mush. Okay, good killing power. That'd have been better if we hadn't lost that point of power. We didn't get, what's it called? 9 lives. So Guppy's body. I'm trying to get this door to close. I don't know why that matters so much to me, but it does. So we didn't get the 9 lives we were looking for, which would have bought us some time. Not a lot at all, to be honest. Oh, this champion's so fast. Even with our damage at 4.93, we still lack killing power. I know I've been harping on it this whole time, but experimental treatment really did us in. Because if we hadn't lost that point of damage, we'd be a little ahead of the curve right now. Not by much, but enough to justify, I don't know. My brain's kind of fried because it's like the middle of the night. Hooray, first. Oh, it's just a nickel. Okay, so what are we looking for? What's on our item wish list that we hope for oh, threaded the needle there. I honestly don't know how we did that. Okay. Come on. Sweet. So what's on our item wish list? We already got Magic Mush. Unfortunately, the HP up on Magic Mush is of no consequence. Okay, so what I want is an active item that I can replace the poop with. We got Judas Shadow, which if we die will come back as Dark Judas, which is a damage increase, and we will be capable of getting red heart containers again. The downside is if we die as Blue Baby and we come back as Judas, none of the things we accomplish will count towards Blue Baby's checklist. It'll count towards Judas's checklist. So we want to be careful with that, because we want the D6 as soon as humanly possible, but we don't want to have to. We don't want our run to end prematurely as Blue Baby. We want to get as much done as Blue Baby as we can. So what I want to do is trap him in a cycle where he's only going back and forth, right? Sweet, that's what I was looking for. That is not what I was looking for. Get out of my face. The poop is kind of a nice defensive item here. Because he can't go through it and can't break it. So it's just kind of there, you know? I mean, I can still break it like I almost just did. HP. Mom's coin purse. Health up. Range up. Luckily, all of those pills were decent. The health up, I'm glad to know that's in rotation. If we were to get another one of those, another Curse of the Blind, are you kidding me? If we were to get our hands on another one of those health up pills, and we were also to find like the, what's it called, the placebo active item, we could just keep using that over and over to fill our HP. We don't have the damage necessary to do that room, so I'm not even going to think about it. Ooh, okay. You can tell we're in a really bad spot because I'm talking only about the run and the stats we need to improve. Because like when your brain's on cruise control when you're playing a game, you can tell an infinite number of other stories. But when you have to focus on the game because you're in a bad situation, there's not really any room for that kind of minds. I don't know how we threaded that needle. There's not really any room for anecdotes right now. So hopefully that'll change soon, because I like telling stories. I like giving people insight into who I am as a person while I'm playing these games, you know? Okay, so we're gonna have the money for the next floor to buy something in the next shop that hopefully isn't terrible. I think if we got our hands on chaos, if we were able to buy chaos, that was dumb. Got a temporary buff though. If we were to able, geez. You can tell I'm tired because my brain's just like I'm making word salad, I should say. But if we were able to get our hands on chaos in the next shop, switching up the item pool like that might actually be what turns the game in our favor for this particular run. Because right now we just need access to better items than we currently have. And the item pool as it stands isn't really going to put us... Oh, I hate this room. Oh, I hate this room. So this is absolutely a room for, like, sad bombs. But yeah, if we were able to switch up the item pool, we stand a better chance of actually being able to do stuff, you know? Because on my third save file when I was playing yesterday, I got Chaos. And the very next item room, I got my hands on Sacred Heart. And I was already killing it that run. Like, I didn't need Sacred Heart. Hopefully, we, in our Angel room, we do end up with, like, a Sacred Heart. Or a, what are some other good ones? Sacred Heart. I'd even accept, like, Holy Shot. I would accept, Crown of Light, for sure. Crown of Light, Sacred Heart, Holy Shot, Holy Mantle, which would be a godsend right now. Stuff like that. Because, to be fair, there really isn't much to hope for in Deals with the Angel, especially since we don't have Godhead unlocked, and we won't have that unlocked for a hot minute. Deals with the Angel are kind of trash, especially when compared to the just stunning killing power of Deals with the Devil. Like, if we were able to get a deal with the devil, or if we were able to steal a deal with the devil with, like, I don't freaking know. But if we were able to get our hands on, like, Maw of the Void or something, like, we'd be set. Because Maw of the Void is so broken, and I love it from the bottom of my heart. It is my child, and I will never let it go. Okay, so we can't even kill these guys in a few hits. That's kind of sad. We haven't seen our item room yet, so we do need to go look for that. I don't want to put myself... Because you never know who the boss is going to be. The boss could be like Double Cage or something. Double Nicolas Cage. Or Monstro 2. Or just something stupid that slows us down. What is that? Gertie? The big one is Gertie and the Gertie Jr. So Gertie could also slow us down, which is why I don't want to I want to hit the item room first, you know? Please be good. Fire, that's a good sign. It could be much better. I don't really care for like the fly orbital items. Like Best Bud doesn't come out until you get hit. You have to take a hit to activate it. Okay, at least it's an enemy that won't completely murder us. Like this is an enemy that we... Another deal with the devil, huh? HP up. Oh, if those are spirit hearts, I would have absolutely taken both of these. As it stands, Spirit of the Night. Please give me spirit hearts back. Nope. Okay, so we wasted that. That's a shame. This is a Judas run now. So after all that, I was really hoping for like a mark, or no, not a contract from below. What the hell is it called? Anything but what we got. You know, Spirit of the Night's fine because now we can fly. We have Spectral Tears, so we can shoot through stuff. That's fine, but you know, now we're Judas. So we wasted all that. But to be fair, I don't see us completing this as a super weak blue baby, you know? Because we still have to do the mom fight, and the mom fight, when you're super weak, is annoying as hell. Because you gotta keep in mind, you don't... that was a nice save at the very end. You gotta keep in mind, with the mom fight, we need damage. It's not just mom you're up against. You gotta fight mom. I don't know what this does. You gotta fight mom, but you also gotta fight every other enemy she spawns. So it's like, how do you reconcile that when your damage is garbage and you have 2 HP? The answer is you don't. I don't know what this egg does, so I'm just gonna keep trucking along. We're gonna keep doing blue baby runs. We're gonna handle it the same way we handled like the Isaac runs back when I was dumb and thought Isaac was the one that had to beat himself. But no, that unlocks a useless item called Isaac's Tears, well, Jar of Tears, which is like Tammy's head, but much worse. Because at least Tammy's head synergizes with your damage and your tear effects. Isaac's head, just plain tears. Just plain tears. That looks like a tinted rock down there. It was not. I was mistaken. I wonder what this egg does. I'm sure something will happen eventually, but until then, I'm not going to worry about it. I have to focus on this. Then again, Judas is pretty strong. And the fact that we do now have access to red hearts does open up a lot of doors for us. These are the freaking items I was hoping for last time. Literally both of these items. Both damage ups, and they both give us spirit hearts. The Mark and the Pact. I was hoping for both of these items. I'm so mad right now. If we had just gone one more floor, we would still be playing as Blue Baby. We'd have some extra spirit hearts, and our damage would be fantastic. So that's a little annoying, if I do say so myself. But that's just how RNG is, you know? RNG likes to play people. All we can do now in retaliation is win. Which is it's still going to be a task. Because we still have to be hyper careful with our HP. What floor is this? Yeah, we still have another floor to go. Which means we have another item shop and another thingy. Judas has done... of course it's a Monstro 2. Because it's always Monstro 2. Why wouldn't it be? Monstro 2 is my favorite. Get out of here, bud. HP up. So we're good to go now. I do wish we were still Blue Baby. But I'm not going to harp on that. I'm not going to harp on it at all, because we're in a good place now. So, I'm trying to think of a good story to tell you guys about myself. So I don't go to, like, fairs very often. Like carnivals or fairs or... I do like festivals. Festivals are a different story. Because they have themes, you know? But I don't go to carnivals or fairs very often. And when I do, I'm very particular about the rides I get on. Because when I was little, I lived on a naval base because both of my parents were in the Navy. And every year, this carnival or fair or whatever you want to call it, pretty decent size. So I guess a fair would be a proper name for it. It would show up every year like clockwork during the summer. It was like every June. And we always went. It was my mom. That was back in a better time in America where you could actually let your kids walk around unsupervised and not be afraid that they would get kidnapped or anything. And also, we were on a freaking naval base. Who's really gonna start something on a naval base, you know? Wow, thanks. I got to donate like all of 3 things. More HP. So anywho, like I was saying, so the fair was always in town for several days at a time. I think it was like 3 to 4. I really don't remember. I was a little kid when this happened. But there's a certain day where my mom didn't go because she wasn't feeling well, so she stayed home to watch like the Pirates of Dark Water, if anyone remembers that show. But where did this come from? Is that ours? Okay, I mean they're ours because they have the hearts. Oh, the egg is gone. So I guess when we took damage, the egg hatched. Oh, and they just stay apparently. Anywho, my mom stayed home to watch cartoons because my mom's cool like that. And my brother, my sister, and I, and some of our neighborhood friends, we all walked off to the fair. She allowed us to go. The fair was free for residents since it was on our base. So we walked up to the front of the naval base. It was a relatively long walk, but whatever. When you're kids, you occupy yourselves, you know? And when we got there, my brother and his friend, like, we all stuck together for the most part. But there was a period where it's like, we couldn't decide on what rides to get on, you know? So we took a vote, and eventually we ended up going on every ride everyone else wanted to go on as well. So everyone got a fair shake at it. But there was this one particular ride that my brother and his friend really, really wanted to get on. And it was called the Gravitron. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's basically it's a machine. It's a big old ride where everyone gets in and stands against the wall. It gets like these vertical mats, I guess. And the ride starts to spin really fast. And the ride uses centrifugal force to hold you against the wall like there's no gravity, even though there's clearly G-force going on. Hence, Gravitron. So, you know, the first time you get on the ride, it's mostly cool to try to like fight against the G-force, and like the mats you're like pressed up against like will slide up and down. And you know, there are people that were getting on it upside down and stuff. People are doing cool stuff. And my brother and his friend were like obsessed with this ride for some reason. I couldn't tell you why, but they were I picked up a pill instead. They were head over heels for this freaking ride, right? So we got off, and then immediately my brother and his friend got back in line. And me and my sister, being younger than him, and my sister being younger than me, we couldn't exactly just wander off. 1, because my mom would kill him, and 2, I was like 7 at the time. Like I had no sense of like agency. I didn't know what I was allowed to do and what I wasn't allowed to do. So I had to stick with my brother. He was kind of in charge of us, right? So it was like, he got on the ride. Well, he got back in line, which meant my sister and I had to get back online. Not online, in line. So we're in line. The second time comes and goes, and I'm just like, okay, I feel a little weird now, but it was still fun. And then my brother wants to get on a third time. Him and his friend are still obsessed, right? My sister is like, nah, fam, and she decides to sit out. So, you know, there was an adult nearby that we knew that was a friend of our mother. So she just kind of stood with her and her family. And the lady was like, yeah, we'll watch your sister until you guys get out. So we go into third time. And this third time, I'm starting to feel it, you know? I'm starting to get that feeling where it's like something's wrong. And I'm just feeling all kinds of dizzy. We're gonna take Satanic Bible for the HP. Might have been stupid since we can produce flies with the jar of flies, but having a defensive item is always helpful. So, the third time I get off, I'm just like, hey man, I don't feel so well. And my brother is like, oh no, you're fine, you're fine. Trust me, you're fine. The feeling will go away soon, right? So, my mom's friend made the mistake of hearing, like, well, I don't want to say that she made the mistake of hearing us, but she overheard my brother's conversation because him and his friends were like, okay, let's do it one more time and then we can move on. And I was like, you know, I don't really want to do that. You know, Christian's waiting on us. And the lady heard us and made the mistake of saying, hey, if you guys want to go one more time, I don't mind watching your sister one more time. So my brother and his friend are like, oh yeah. So they get back on the ride, and you know, I was like, fine, I'll go too. So I get on the ride one more time. Big mistake. But by the time I got like halfway through the ride, I knew I had made a horrible mistake. Like, you know how you can feel it when you're close to vomiting? How you can feel like your cheeks flushing, your mouth waters, you get that bile taste in your throat. You know, you get really hot, you start to sweat, your vision blurs, it gets like that dotted color Technovision going on. That happened midway through the ride for me, and I was like, okay, I need to get out of here. But I can't because I'm glued to the wall by G-forces. So whenever I get sick or whenever I feel myself getting nauseous, my first instinct is to close my eyes. I don't know why that works, but it does. If I keep my eyes open, especially if I'm in motion, motion sickness kicks in full force. But if my eyes are closed, I get a moment to collect myself and I just kind of breathe. So the most I could do while I was still in the ride was close my eyes, right? So that's what I did. I just closed my eyes and I just kind of like silently prayed that I wouldn't throw up in this gravitron, because I knew if I threw up, it would just stick to me like glue because of the concept of the ride. So, I didn't want to embarrass myself like that, because who wants to be that kid that throws up in front of other kids, you know? News like that travels fast. So, hey, we got our very own wall brimstone boy. He was not attached to the wall at all right there, but okay. So, basically, we got off the ride, and I was like, I want to go home. I don't feel well. And my brother was like, no, dude, you're fine. Just chill. I was like, no, dude, I really need to go home. And no sooner than I said that, I like walked over to the nearest trash can and just threw up. Like everything in my stomach just came right out. But my brother was kind of a dick when I was a kid. Like we're really good friends now, but when I was a kid, my brother was he was that guy who was like, he was like the quintessential TV villain older brother, you know? So he's like, no, like I don't want to go home. I didn't get to ride all the rides I want. Keep in mind, he's completely fine after 4 trips on the Gravitron. He's fine. But I'm like, yo, I need to go home. But he knows that if I go home, he has to go home too. Especially if I'm sick. And it was still really early in our day. We had barely rode any rides. So he was like, okay, how about, can you just walk yourself home, but don't tell mom that you're sick? And I was like, I was just so ready to go home that I was just like, fine, okay, I won't tell Mom. And, you know, I walked home. It was a long walk, because literally any task when you're sick feels like it takes 600 years. But I was like, okay, I'll just go home. You guys have fun, whatever. So I left. And like I said, it was the middle of summer. It was June. I'm sick. I'm overheated, and I'm walking home by myself. And like I said, like, we lived far from the front of the base. Like, we had to, let me plot this out in my head. We had to go all the way down my street, turn onto the main street, all the way down the main street, and then turn onto the street that led to the actual street that goes in and out of the base. So it was quite a long walk. Maybe, okay, for an adult it'd probably be like a 15-minute walk. But for a kid, that was like a half hour, 45 minutes walk. Because you know how kids drag their feet. Kids go everywhere slowly, unless that's somewhere they really want to go and they're also not sick. So I walk home in the blistering heat. I get home, and my mom is still laying on the couch because, remember, she doesn't feel well. And she's like, hey, how was the fair? Why are you home so early? Because I hadn't been gone that long. And I didn't want to tell her I was sick because I didn't want my brother to get in trouble. Because if I told her that he sent me home sick and he didn't want to come home, like he didn't want to walk me home, even though my mom was sick, she would have gotten in her car, driven down to the fair, and whooped my brother's ass. So I just kind of I was like, yeah, I just wasn't really feeling it. I told her that, like, my friend wasn't there, so I got bored. So I asked Josh if I could walk home. And then I just kind of I went to the bathroom, I threw up again, covertly. And then I just kind of laid on the couch with my mom and watched cartoons. And that was that. So we've completed the Polaroid, which means we can go up to the chest. So now our next task is to start going down to Shoal to complete the negative. And then from there we can just do what we want when we want. But if you guys have been enjoying Isaac so far and looking forward to seeing how it plays out in the future, consider leaving a like and subscribe. Both help the channel immensely. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss out on notifications when content goes up. And as always, I've been Saturn, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next episode of Isaac. Later, everybody!